Have you ever stopped to really truly consider what courage looks like?
Hmm.
Because so often our minds jump straight to the dramatic, don't they?
They really do. It's
Yeah.
almost automatic.
We picture these bold declarations, maybe rapid disruptive breakthroughs.
Yeah, those leaders making grand gestures.
Yeah.
The kind that scream heroic.
Exactly. Big neon lights flashing courage. It's usually loud, fast, very visible.
Right.
But what if? What if there's another form of courage, one that's profoundly impactful, but, often overlooked? Something operating in a totally different register. Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we try to peel back those familiar layers, maybe challenge some conventional wisdom.
And uncover insights that might genuinely shift your perspective.
Precisely.
And we are, I think, about to explore a type of bravery that, well, it rarely gets the spotlight. Yet, it's arguably more fundamental, maybe more sustaining, perhaps even more transformative, especially when you look inside, leadership and how organizations really work.
Oh.
It's a kind of strength that's less about that big surge forward.
Right.
And much more about a quiet persistence, a deeply rooted resilience.
A subtle recalibration, then, of how we see progress.
Exactly. A subtle, yet I think profound recalibration.
That sets the stage perfectly.
Yeah.
So today, our deep dive is focusing on a concept that, well, at first glance, it might seem almost contradictory, counterintuitive even. Courage in slow motion.
Courage in slow motion.
I like that. We're drawing our main insights from this really profound work, Global Leadership Insights 2030, mini-series Inner Leadership.
Good.
Specifically, Episode 5.
Okay.
The material is authored by Lóng and produced by Lóng Tíng Enterprises.
Right.
And our mission for you listening in is to genuinely re-examine what you think true courage looks like, especially in leadership, in those complex, often high-pressure organizational settings.
Yes.
We really want to dig up insights that challenge that pervasive idea, that relentless drumbeat, that speed at all costs is always the answer.
And it couldn't be more relevant right now, could it? For your experience,
No.
for everyone's experience.
I think so, too.
Because we live in a world that just pushes us relentlessly towards acceleration. Faster, faster, faster.
Every benchmark, every metric.
Every signal screams, move faster.
Yeah.
Faster growth, quicker results, immediate responses.
Yeah.
So truly understanding and maybe even embracing the power of stillness,
Yeah.
of deliberate, unhurried action. That can be a complete game changer.
Not just a minor tweak.
Oh, absolutely not. This isn't just about, a slightly different pace. It's about clarity, deeper clarity in thought, in decision-making, fostering a more authentic connection to your purpose, making choices that are actually more effective in the long run,
Building something that lasts.
building something with genuine, enduring resilience.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really an invitation, maybe even a necessity, to radically rethink what progress even means. #tag defining courage in slow motion.
Okay, so let's dive right into challenging that common story about courage we just touched on.
So let's do it.
When we typically picture courage, it's almost always tied to overt action, isn't it?
Absolutely. Action is key in the common narrative.
Like a CEO making a huge declaration, pivoting the whole company overnight.
Or that visionary leader driving some disruptive breakthrough.
Yeah, or those acts that just grab the headlines and signal success instantly.
Right. The person standing up saying, we're changing direction right now.
That's the script, isn't it? The popular one.
It absolutely is.
But what about this other kind, this courage in slow motion that the source talks about? What is it, really?
Well, what we're looking at here in this deep dive, it's a form of courage that it operates on a quieter frequency.
Okay.
We rarely talk about it, probably because it lacks that dramatic flair, that immediate visibility that makes headlines.
So it's not always the grand dramatic actions.
No, not always demanding immediate attention. It's not about that sudden explosive burst of energy.
More sustained.
Much more. A sustained, quiet, deeply rooted resolve. Think about it. Who do we usually celebrate in our culture?
The doers, the movers.
Us shakers, exactly. Those constantly in motion, visibly pushing boundaries.
Right.
But what about the stayer? The one who holds steady? What about the strengths and stillness?
The stare, that's a powerful word. It really highlights the core idea from the source. The quiet, patient courage of staying. Can you maybe paint a picture for us? What are the specific situations where this kind of courage actually shows up? Because it feels like it goes against so many of our modern instincts, right?
You're absolutely right. It does challenge the current. It pushes back.
The push to react, pivot, accelerate.
Constantly. So this courage of staying, it manifests most profoundly when every external pressure, every signal is pushing you intensely the other way. Imagine this.
Okay.
Staying when the market starts to shift. What's the first instinct?
Panic, jump ship, drastic pivot.
Exactly. That's the temptation for any leader, any organization. That first tremor of uncertainty hits, and the urge is to react massively.
But this courage...
It might involve a disciplined pause, a deep breath, a real assessment of what's actually happening, a quiet understanding. And then, maybe, a steadfast commitment to holding steady, trusting a longer-term vision that might not pay off immediately.
Resisting the urge to chase every shiny new thing.
Precisely. Or think about staying when others are already running ahead.
Oh, that's a tough one. Watching competitors zoom past.
You see them launching initiatives, scaling like crazy, acquiring companies, celebrating exponential growth.
And the pressure on you.
It's immense, suffocating almost, to keep up, to surpass them.
Just to keep up in that race. But the courage of staying asks that really hard question. Is that actually the right pace for us right now?
Are we sacrificing quality, purpose,
Yeah.
our people?
Are we burning ourselves out chasing someone else's timeline? It's choosing your own authentic rhythm over just getting external validation.
And there's a third one.
Yes, and perhaps the most profound. Staying when every external signal screams, speed up, but something inside, some inner wisdom whispers, not yet. Oof, that sounds like a real internal battle.
It is a true test of inner leadership. The data might say expand rapidly. Investors might demand quick returns. Analysts predict doom if you hesitate.
Everything pushing you forward.
Yet something deep within the organization's gut, or the leader's own intuition, signals caution, a reluctance.
That quiet whisper.
A quiet, almost imperceptible whisper. And it takes immense courage not just to hear it, but to actually heed it. Distinguishing it from just fear.
That requires real discernment.
Profound discernment. To separate the overwhelming external noise from that subtle, resonant internal truth.
Wow. That really puts it into perspective. It brings to mind another powerful line from the source. After we question growth, a strange stillness often appears. It's like the whole organization just holds its breath, a moment of silence. What does that stillness actually mean for an organization or for a leader?
It's so much more than just an absence of noise or motion. It's profoundly significant. It represents this crucial moment of internal reckoning.
A self-assessment.
A vital period of quiet self-assessment. Exactly. It's the point when the organization or the leader, maybe subconsciously, asks itself that pivotal question.
Are we still willing to stand where we said we would stand?
Precisely. And it's not just about questioning growth itself, but how that growth is happening. At what cost?
So it forces a check-in with the core identity, the values, the purpose.
A fundamental, often uncomfortable check-in.
Yes.
It's like re-anchoring yourself.
And the source material has such a vivid way of describing the challenge of actually upholding those values.
It really does.
It says it's easy when the winds are gentle, but harder when the wind is full of gold.
Isn't that powerful? Such a poetic yet sharp image.
It really paints a picture of temptation, doesn't it?
Profoundly so. Think about it. When business is good, profits are flowing easily, the path ahead seems clear.
It's easy to talk about values then. Put them on the wall.
Effortless. You can champion them, discuss them in meetings. You live by them without much obvious sacrifice.
But the real test,
the real crucible, the moment where this courage in slow motion is absolutely essential, is when that wind is full of gold. Meaning a hugely lucrative opportunity comes along. Massive financial gain, maybe rapid market dominance. But
there's a catch.
There's a catch. It compromises those very values you claim to hold.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Imagine a potential partnership offering a huge financial boost, a quick win. But it demands ethical compromises in your supply chain.
Or forces you to abandon a community commitment.
Exactly. Or maybe it's a chance to grow exponentially, but only by burning out your employees, or damaging the environment, or sacrificing product quality.
The seduction of short-term gain, quick riches.
It can be overwhelmingly seductive. It creates this deep internal conflict, an ethical strategic dilemma.
Do you chase the gold, bend in your principles?
Or do you stand firm where you said you would stand? Honoring your authentic self, even if it means missing out on that immediate, glittering profit. That is the critical moment of choice that defines this quiet, steadfast courage. Tag the contrast with conventional courage.
That image, the windful of gold, it really sticks with you, doesn't it?
It does. It's very evocative.
And it perfectly sets up this powerful, almost riddle-like koan from the source material.
Ah, the koan.
Can courage walk rather than run?
Simple question, profound implications.
It sounds so simple, but it completely flips our usual script about courage and leadership, doesn't it?
It's absolutely designed to do that, to disrupt those deeply ingrained assumptions we have about action, about bravery.
Because the conventional narrative.
In almost all conventional leadership stories, courage is portrayed as, well, perpetual forward motion. Always moving forward.
The force that breaks through resistance.
Exactly. The drive that pushes boundaries, conquers new territory. Think about all the military metaphors we use in business.
Charging forward, breaking ranks, launching an offensive.
Disrupting the market. Leadership programs highlight people who scale incredibly fast, disrupt industries, make swift, bold decisions.
Propelling their organizations upwards.
The whole narrative champions speed, agility, that relentless chase for the next big thing.
Yeah.
It suggests you overcome obstacles, mainly through force and velocity.
Just keep advancing.
Keep advancing. Don't stop.
Okay, so if that's the common view, how does this study companion mindset challenge it? The source says, in a study companion mindset, courage often looks like remaining still while others rush forward. That sounds almost passive, like the exact opposite of what we just described. How can stillness be courage?
But it's anything but passive. That's the key insight here.
Okay.
It's an intensely active choice, a deliberate act of leadership.
Yeah.
And honestly, it often requires far more inner strength than just charging ahead with the crowd.
So what exactly is this study companion mindset?
Well, the source describes it as a way of being, of operating, that's really characterized by continuous, deep learning, iterative learning, and profound self-reflection.
Like constantly checking your inner compass.
Exactly. Constantly studying that inner compass, observing your true needs, understanding the real health and trajectory of your system, whether that's you, your team, or the whole organization.
Growth through introspection and deliberate pacing.
Yes, a conscious commitment to that. So, in this mindset, stillness isn't stagnation at all.
It's a grounded stance.
A grounded, deliberate stance. It's the capacity to resist that overwhelming collective urge to just speed up, to have the fortitude to pause, assess with real clarity, even when, or maybe especially when, everyone else is sprinting ahead in a frenzy.
That takes immense self-awareness.
Immense self-awareness, conviction in your own discernment, and a deep trust in your internal signals, even when the external pressures are screaming the opposite.
Being the calm eye in the storm.
Beautifully put. Holding steady, maintaining your center when chaos and urgency are swirling all around you.
Choosing alignment over just speed.
Choosing alignment with purpose over mere acceleration. Choosing depth over superficial breadth. And for many, that's undeniably the harder path.
But perhaps more rewarding in the end.
Ultimately, yes. More rewarding, more sustainable. #tag real-world manifestations of staying.
Okay, that explanation of the study companion mindset really helps clarify how stillness can be so active. It's intentional.
It's very intentional.
Now, to make this really land for everyone listening, can you give us some specific, concrete examples from the source? Examples that show this courage of staying in action.
Absolutely. That's where it becomes tangible. The source provides some excellent scenarios that really highlight this quiet courage and, importantly, the why behind the staying.
Right.
Okay, consider, for example, the courageous act of declining a lucrative partnership.
Saying no to money, that's tough.
It is. But why is it courageous here? Because accepting it would compromise core relationships.
Okay. Explain that more.
Imagine a company built carefully on deep trust with its customers, its community, maybe key suppliers, almost like family.
Right, those foundational connections.
Then suddenly, this seemingly game-changing partnership appears. Huge financial windfall, rapid expansion.
The windfall of gold again.
Exactly. But maybe this partnership demands compromises, shifting to cheaper, less ethical sourcing, diluting that personal customer service, abandoning community commitments.
Things that define the company's soul.
Precisely. The courage here is saying a clear no to that immediate gain, prioritizing the long-term trust, the integrity of those connections, the soul of the brand.
Choosing value over profit.
Enduring, deeply rooted value over fleeting profit. It's often against the advice of advisors, against market trends, but it cements who you are, secures the real legacy.
Okay, that's a powerful one. What else?
Another great example. A leader choosing to slow down a product launch because the team needs rest.
Ooh, in today's world, that takes guts. The pressure is always first to market.
Relentless pressure. Hit aggressive deadlines, beat the competition. But what if the team is visibly burning out?
Right. Near collapse.
What if pushing harder means mistakes, a compromised product, losing your best people?
Yeah. The hidden costs of speed.
The courage here is deliberately valuing human well-being, the sustainable capacity of your people, the long-term health of the organization, valuing that over artificial timelines.
Recognizing that burnout leads to worse outcomes.
Absolutely. It's a leader saying our people's well-being, our capacity to care, the quality of what we make, that matters more than shaving a few weeks off of lunch.
That's real leadership.
It is. And finally, maybe the most profound, holding the line of your values, even when profits temporarily fall behind.
We talked about how easy it is when things are good.
Right. But the real test, when sticking to your principles, means you might lose a big deal to someone less scrupulous.
Or your quarterly earnings dip compared to rivals cutting corners.
That's where courage is truly forged. It could be refusing a manipulative marketing tactic, committing to a sustainable but more expensive process, even when shareholders are yelling for higher returns.
Demonstrating unwavering integrity.
A deep, unshakable commitment to your mission, your why. Understanding, really knowing that values aren't just nice-to-haves for sunny days.
They're the bedrock.
The bedrock of lasting, meaningful success. The guideposts. Even if it means a short-term hit, an uncomfortable conversation, or seeming like you're falling behind for a while, that's where the soul is tested.
Those are such strong examples, and they feel widely applicable, not just for huge corporations.
Exactly. Whether you're leading a big company, a small team, or even just navigating your own personal projects and values,
the principles hold true.
They do. It's about making those tough, sometimes unpopular calls that prioritize long-term health, authenticity, integrity, over that seductive pull of immediate results or urgency.
And speaking of those tough calls, the source shares this fantastic anecdote. Really captures the essence of this courage in slow motion.
Ah, the founder story, yes.
The founder told the author, "Speed is seductive, especially when things are going well."
That just nails it, doesn't it?
It really does. When you're on a roll, success piling up, it feels like there's no reason not to push harder or go faster.
It's a brilliant observation. Cuts right to the core of our psychology, organizational and personal.
Yeah.
The allure of speed is incredibly powerful then. When a company's hitting targets, expanding, attracting talent, seeing those immediate positive returns,
It feels amazing.
it's intoxicating.
Yeah.
And there's this almost irresistible urge to push harder, accelerate more aggressively. Success breeds this desire for more success.
And speed seems like the obvious way to get it.
The most direct, the most assured path.
Yeah.
Plus, you have that dopamine hit of constant positive feedback. And underneath it all,
The fear.
the fear of being left behind, losing momentum if you don't speed up. It's so easy to get swept away, mistaking frantic activity for real progress.
Psychological trap.
A powerful one. The perceived cost of slowing down feels enormous when that current of success is strong.
So, right in the middle of this seductive momentum, this founder faces his toughest decision.
Yes.
He describes it as not to accept a large investment.
Which, for most founders, especially successful ones, is counterintuitive. They usually jump at it or actively chase it.
Right. But instead, he chose to remain with a slower, community-based model.
A courageous choice.
What was the deeper meaning behind that? The implication?
The profound implication was that this deliberate choice allowed the company to grow in rhythm with its capacity to care.
Grow in rhythm with its capacity to care. Say more about that.
It's such a crucial distinction. Hypergrowth, often fueled by those large investments.
The ones he turned down.
Right. It almost inevitably pushes companies beyond their human capacity. They might scale revenue, headcount, market cap incredibly fast, but in that relentless chase, they often sacrifice their ability to genuinely care for employees, customers, community.
They lose something essential.
They do. This founder, with incredible foresight and courage, chose sustainable growth over that kind of unbridled hypergrowth. He prioritized the team's well-being, the depth of relationships, the integrity of their community connection.
Over just chasing bigger numbers.
Exactly. Over purely financial metrics. It meant choosing a pace where they could maintain their values, nurture their culture, truly serve their community, rather than becoming just a profit machine driven by external demands.
Choosing the quality of growth.
A quality, not just the quantity, yes.
And what really gets me is how he described feeling about that decision. He said, It didn't feel heroic. It felt like swallowing a stone.
Wow, such stark imagery.
So vivid, clearly not exhilaration. He called it gravity.
Rabbit.
What is that sensation, that feeling of gravity? Tell us about the real, unvarnished nature of courage.
That image, swallowing a stone, it's an honest revelation, isn't it?
Yeah.
About the often unromantic reality of courage.
Yeah?
Swallowing a stone. It suggests taking in something heavy, difficult, maybe unpleasant, something dense you have to hold inside.
Weight. Groundedness.
A sense of immense weight, yes.
Yeah.
Groundedness. And often a profound, uncomfortable truth you have to accept and carry. It just shatters that romanticized view of courage as this thrilling, triumphant burst of energy.
Feeling invincible.
Right. Riding a wave. Instead, it shows the unglamorous, sometimes heavy reality.
In gravity.
Describing it as gravity is the direct opposite of feeling light. Soaring, unburdened. Gravity pulls you down, roots you. It signifies facing the weight, the responsibility of a major decision.
The force keeping you grounded.
Even when part of you wants to fly away, escape the difficulty, chase an easier path, it suggests accountability, the enduring impact of a tough but right choice.
So for us listening, the aha moment is
the realization that your most significant, truly courageous acts might not feel like an adrenaline rush or get a standing ovation.
They might feel quiet, internal, difficult.
Exactly, like holding a heavy, immovable truth inside. A decision with a real cost, but one that keeps you aligned with what truly matters.
It shows that real courage isn't about not feeling fear or discomfort.
It's about facing them head on, deliberately choosing the harder, more authentic path anyway. #, nurturing this quiet courage.
Okay, so if that's what real courage often feels like, quiet, heavy, uncomfortable sometimes, how do we actually nurture this kind of courage? In ourselves, in our organizations. Because like you said, it's clearly not something you just whip up with a quick pep talk.
You've hit the nail on the head there. The source immediately pushes back against that common but often superficial idea. It says, not by motivational speeches.
Right. That's fundamental.
It is. Real, sustained courage, especially this quiet, deliberate kind, it doesn't come from fleeting enthusiasm. It comes from deeper, systemic changes.
Within the organization.
Within the organization and through consistent, intentional practices in your own leadership. It's about cultivating an environment, internal and external, where this kind of courage can actually breathe, thrive, express itself.
Requires a different kind of gardening, maybe.
Exactly. A different kind of cultivation.
That makes sense. The source puts a lot of emphasis on deliberately giving slowness a legitimate place in our leadership practice. In a world obsessed with speed and efficiency, actively making space for slowness. That feels almost radical. What does that actually look like day to day?
It is radical in our current world, and that's its power. Practically. Means several intentional things.
Like
Consciously building in structured time for real reflection. Okay. Not just adding more tasks to the list.
Okay.
Developing the discipline to resist that constant pressure of urgency. The impulse to react instantly to every ping, every email, every crisis.
Valuing deliberate thought as much as fast action.
Valuing it as much, maybe even more than rapid execution. Tangibly, maybe it's no meeting days. Blocks of deep work time with minimal distractions.
Retreats focused on reflection, not just operations.
Yes. Recognizing that clarity, wisdom, real innovation often comes from stillness. From letting ideas percolate, mature. Not from constant frantic motion, designing work for spaciousness.
Mental and emotional spaciousness.
Exactly. And crucially, nurturing this courage is tied directly to creating psychological safety.
Yes. Very important.
Foundational. The source puts it beautifully. Nurture it by creating spaces where someone can gently say, this doesn't feel aligned, and be received with curiosity, not suspicion.
Curiosity, not suspicion. That feels key.
It's absolutely foundational. If someone feels safe enough to voice an uncomfortable truth, a doubt about a fast decision, an ethical concern, maybe just needing rest without fear of being judged.
Labeled a naysayer or difficult.
Right, without being met with suspicion. Then true, authentic courage can emerge. It can flourish.
So the default response needs to shift.
Precisely. Away from suspicion, are they delaying, not committed, being difficult, and towards genuine curiosity?
Tell me more. What are you seeing? What feels off?
What's your concern based on? Yes.
Yeah.
That fosters an environment where diverse perspectives are welcomed, not just tolerated. Where honest feedback is seen as vital.
Leading to better decisions, Fewer blind spots.
Better decisions, course corrections, real breakthroughs, not just blind obedience. It directly impacts organizational health, innovation, creates a culture where truth can actually surface.
And this connects to the idea of listening to the inner voice of the organization. That sounds almost mystical. How do you listen to that?
It is deep work. It's about cultivating intuition, practicing really deep, empathetic listening.
Beyond the surface level.
Way beyond. Developing a heightened awareness of the collective pulse, the underlying needs, the authentic trajectory, sensing unspoken dynamics, quiet discontents, subtle urges for change that aren't in the reports.
Things not on the dashboard.
Exactly. And crucially, being tuned in enough to listen even when it speaks in hesitation.
Ah, that's important. Wisdom isn't always loud.
So important.
Yeah.
Because profound insights don't always arrive as a clear directive or a bold yes. Sometimes the most vital truth comes as a gentle whisper of uncertainty, a tremor of caution, a quiet reservation.
And the courageous leader tunes into that.
The leader with the sensitivity and courage to hear that hesitation, rather than dismiss it as weakness or resistance. That leader can often prevent big mistakes, foster deeper alignment.
Sensing the underlying currents.
Yes, sensing the currents that guide the real health and future, not just reacting to surface demands.
That's a really powerful thought to wrap up this section. The source says, real courage is not free of doubt. It contains doubt and stays anyway. That just makes courage feel so much more human, doesn't it? Accessible to all of us.
It completely reframes it. We build up these idealized images of courageous people as fearless, never uncertain.
Right.
But this statement cuts through that illusion. It underscores a fundamental, liberating truth. True bravery isn't the absence of fear or doubt.
It's proceeding despite them.
Exactly. Acknowledging the doubt, holding it, letting it be there, and still choosing to stay steadfast, to make the hard decision that feels right deep down.
It democratizes courage.
It really does. Makes it attainable. It says, it's okay to feel apprehension, uncertainty. That's part of the journey.
What matters is what you do next.
What you choose to do with it. Choosing conviction, integrity over immediate comfort or ease, even when doubt is right there with you.
That is such a powerful reframing. And what I love about this source material is that it doesn't just leave us floating in concepts. It gives us something really concrete, practical.
Yes, it brings you down to earth.
A practice for nurturing this kind of courage, it suggests. Before confirming a major decision, ask the team, what are we afraid of losing if we move forward with this?
Such a simple question on the surface.
Deceptively simple.
Yeah.
But I imagine the impact could be huge.
Incredibly potent.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely vital to understand the intent behind that question.
Okay.
The source is explicit. It's not as risk analysis.
Right. How is it different from typical risk assessment?
Well, risk analysis, which is important, usually focuses on objective threats, legal issues, quantifiable financial losses.
Asking, what are the financial risks, operational challenges, market downsides?
Exactly. Important questions, but often quite detached, intellectual, focus on external factors.
So if this question isn't primarily about analyzing risk that way, what is its real purpose? What's it trying to do for the team?
Its profound purpose is an honest, human acknowledgement.
Ah, human acknowledgement.
Yes. It's designed to gently, but powerfully, tap into those underlying, often unspoken fears and anxieties that always come with big decisions.
Creating a safe space for those feelings.
Consciously creating psychological safety for people to voice their deepest worries, their personal stakes, their emotional concerns about potential losses.
Things that don't show up on a spreadsheet.
Exactly. Fear of losing reputation, identity, team cohesion, maybe just comfort and predictability.
And power comes from naming them together.
The transformative power is precisely in that collective naming. When fears are brought out into the open, articulated, acknowledged by the group, they lose some of their isolating power.
They feel less overwhelming.
Less debilitating. It normalizes the apprehension. Everyone realizes, oh, I'm not alone in feeling this. It creates this shared understanding of the emotional landscape.
Shifting the conversation.
Elevating it from purely logical or transactional to one that fully embraces the human element of fear and vulnerability.
And the source then says, often this very act of naming opens a deeper courage. How does that actually work? How does acknowledging fear lead to more courage, not less?
It works because we step into the decision with awareness, not with denial.
Okay. Awareness versus denial.
When fears or doubts are suppressed, ignored, pushed aside, they don't vanish, they go underground.
Festering. Creating resistance.
Subtly creating resistance, anxiety, maybe even leading to subconscious sabotage later. But when they're consciously named, acknowledged, discussed supportively,
Yeah.
they transform.
From shadows into something concrete.
From shadowy, undefined threats into specific concerns that can be addressed, even if just through validation and shared understanding.
So it allows a psychological shift.
A crucial one. Instead of a blind leap of faith or forcing yourself past apprehension, you move forward with a full, clear understanding of the emotional terrain.
Eyes wide open.
Eyes wide open to the potential downsides, the losses, the sacrifices. And paradoxically, that conscious awareness cultivates a more robust, genuine, resilient courage.
You're not fearless.
No, you're courageous, despite the fear, because you've bravely acknowledged it, processed it, and deliberately chosen to proceed anyway.
So for everyone listening,
applying this simple practice in your personal life, family, work can be truly transformative for cultivating that quiet, steady courage. Moving from reaction to intention. #outro.
Wow. This has been such an illuminating deep dive, truly. We've peeled back so many layers on what courage really means, moving way beyond those typical, often superficial ideas of speed, drama, bold moves.
Yeah, the standard narrative.
We've explored that profound, often underestimated strength in what the source calls courage in slow motion.
That quiet, enduring power of staying.
Yes, the importance of deliberate, intentional action over just impulsive, reactive speed, making that conscious choice for alignment, for sustainability, for authenticity.
Even when that wind is full of gold, is blowing hard.
Right.
When compromise feels tempting.
Exactly.
It's been such a vital reevaluation, I think, not just for leaders and organizations, but for every single one of us trying to navigate the pace of modern life.
Absolutely.
True leadership, as we've explored, sometimes really does require that quiet fortitude to just stand still.
To protect values, to care for capacity.
To genuinely care for your own capacity and the well-being of those around you. It's that courageous act of embracing gravity, swallowing the stone.
Trusting that slower path.
Trusting with deep conviction that a slower, more deliberate, more authentic path can lead to deeper, more meaningful, more lasting impact than just rushing ahead.
And as we close out this deep dive, we're left with that truly provocative, beautiful thought from the source. I really hope it stays with you, listener. May your courage walk slowly.
What a profound invitation for right now.
Isn't it?
We've seen courage isn't about grand gestures in the usual sense. It's about those profound, often internal choices we make under pressure. Pressure to speed up, conform, compromise.
Yeah.
So the invitation to you, listening, is to really consider, in your own life, your work, your relationships, where's one area, maybe subtle, maybe significant,
where you could benefit?
Where you could benefit most from choosing staying or slowness over rushing forward? Where might pausing, reflecting, bravely acknowledging fear open up a deeper, more authentic courage inside you?
That's a powerful question to sit with. And this journey into inner leadership, it continues.
It does.
In our final episode of this miniseries, which is beautifully titled, A Legacy of Presence, we'll return to the very deepest core of staying, exploring the power of not doing, not proving, but simply being fully, authentically, intentionally there.
It promises to be a really resonant capstone to the series.
I think so too.
Because these concepts, as you felt today, they really do build on each other, offering this holistic, integrated understanding of leading and living from a place of presence, inner strength, and real authenticity.
Thank you so much for joining us on the deep dive.
Thank you. We really encourage you to reflect on these insights. Consider how they might gently, profoundly shape your own unique path forward.